Yo, what's going on? This is the next episode of the Bristol United career mode. As you can see, we're starting off 11 games in, top of the table. You know what? We're doing alright, but I don't feel like we're playing too well as a team. We still have the same problems as last year, but as you can see against Newport County, we're going in with a slightly changed team. Mateta's no longer. He's coming in that squad. Davies starting a bit more. We just circulating that position because I don't think it ever settled, to be honest. You'll also see in the next coming games as well, we'll be rotating up front, whether it's a 2 up top system or 1 up top system. Things are changing at the top of the table. Yeah. But anyway, we get into the game with Davey on the ball. Davey passes to Goodwin to Lennon, Stevens still with it, trying to fashion a chance. Can't get it off, just tackle just before the shot comes off. Anyway, we follow up with Newport on the ball to Baker Richardson, follow that wide. Closing down, so literally a sea of Bristol players around him. Davey shrugged off the ball there, trying to tackle him. But we do get away with Holloway to Lane. Lane passes it to Stevens has it, back to Holloway. Holloway hasn't started the season as hot as he did last year. But yeah, still a main staple of the team, someone you can't drop as they get an opportunity to score there. It's only narrowly wide. Wilkins has been another one. I don't think we've kept many clean sheets this year, and someone we could do with an upgrade with, really. We have got players in the youth academy that are ready to go, to be fair, 1 or 2 of them, and we've got more, of course, who's 62 rating as Godwin gets it there just before half time, cuts inside, looks to take a chance cross, and instead of cutting across, Godwin does what Godwin does and shoots, manages to score, which helps settle the teammates not get as peed off as they could be with him. And sometimes he does these hard-headed decisions where he looks for the glory pretty much 9 times out of 10, but it works off more often than not. So we go in now 1-0 up, and we start the second half with Stevens reclaiming the ball as Newport did start off the second half. Thinks over the top to Lennon, can he hit it? Goes across and go with his normal driven shot across goal. Stop from going out for a corner. Stephen gets it luckily. Give it to Davey. Good chance. Managed to get a corner, which nothing resulted from that. We haven't been good with corners ever since we started the save. As Davey runs to the heart of the midfield. Luke gets his own ball that he lost. A little heel to heel. Pass it out to Goodwin. Goodwin has options. See Stevens. Stevens gets away from his defender. We managed to get another corner. Did we make changes? No, it's just changes to Newport. Davey here taking the corner. Again, nothing happens from it. Sharkara. Davey has been sort of in the middle of everything in the second half. He's played quite well, to be fair to him. As Holloway gets it. That's Stevens to Lennon goes with an awkward shot, but manages to make it 2-0. Half an hour left in the game. We hope things are wrapped up here, as I think Lennon and a few others step off the field. Yeah, we changed up our whole front line. It seems like Malcolm and Laszlo has come on. We reset things. Again, it's 10 minutes later as we get the ball, swing it in. Morton gets it. Again, awful header, bounces off the defender, keeper gets to it. He clears it to safety. Spellman. It was a good hold-up play by the striker there to allow players to run forwards. The problem is we then commit so many men back that it's no longer a break, as he pulled that out the bag. We've conceded some great goals. Like, we don't concede too many. We may concede, 1 a game, 1 every other game. But it was down the keeper's throat, realistically. I think if he was expecting it, he would have got to it. But it's one of those ones where it looks great on paper. When you see the replays, you're like, oh, maybe the keeper could have done better. But either way, we run out 2-1 victors. So, yeah. We had some dodgy food in the canteen, which meant that it's usually a few players, but it was just Wilkins that was hit by the dodgy stomach. So, as I said, we had Finn that we brought from the youth academy, and we thought Mora isn't that match fit. So it's like, do we take the player that's been playing in the youth academy, or do we take the player that's been running the bench? So against Mansfield, we did go with the decision to start the youth keeper. which can be looked at as a bit weird in some people's eyes, but we didn't question the decision, and he might be the one to take his Wilkins spot if he plays well. But we're back to, I think, the normal strongest 11. As you see, Godwin and Elias there. Lennon gets the ball here. We still start with the two up top, as Laszlo starting as well. Godwin gets it, he's Matete on the overlap, he can cut it back, Lennon gets it. Hard to wiggle a chance out of that one. Maybe should have let it across and shoot with the other foot instead of going with the right. Morton still looking like a monk. Onto the ball. Out left, where Potter hopefully can get to it. He gets turned, goes inside. Morrow Welsh back to Bolton. Gets cut out by Morton. Well done. Lathan starting. Pass to Holloway as we look to go in the break. Sorry for any confusion with the kits. It's yellow and orange, so it's not the best. But Lennon gets it out wide, looking to go across goal. Hits the post, and luckily, nice save by the keeper. Looking for Dickov out left, gets intercepted. Again, we're on the counter as Godwin gets out wide. Had people, and he's took a chunk out the floor, yes. This is odd, as we join back with Mansfield on the attack, get inside. Great save by the young keeper there. Oh, never mind. Looked like he got a hand to it, but we'll say it's a bad referee's decision instead. Say that you got the save. But either way, we build up from the back. We're very vertical as ever, so the ball goes back to front quite quickly as Lennon gets it there from Laszlo, shoots and scores. So yeah, Lennon doing Lennon type things. We did at the I think it might have been shown in the last episode, we did give Lennon a contract at the start of the year, and because the new signings I brought on, I think that he's got a little bit upset. So we'll wait to see if he voices any opinions about that, but for now he's scoring goals, so that's all we can ask for. As Lewis gets it straight after their kick-off, shoots, gets blocked, nothing happens for the resulting bit, and we join just before half-time as Lewis gets it, back to Morrow Welsh. Evans, body of Bristol shirts around him again, but no one making the challenge. We kind of do that a lot, we swarm the ball, but no one gets in, no one gets stuck in, as Morton does it. We often rely on the back line for that, and we go into half-time 1-0 up. It's become night time apparently in the 15 minutes that we broke for the half, as Mansfield start with the ball to Morrow Welsh. Holloway gets in there, puts a foot in. No one really ahead, no one making vertical runs, but give it to Lennon in the end, who holds it up, waits for other attackers to join him, pass it to Holloway again looking for options, pass it to Laszlo gets it, can't get a shot off but he gets his ball back. Pass it to Lennon gets it, shoots, goes keeper side, and then manages to score. So we're 2-0 up. Drenis about 5 minutes afterwards in the 55th minute as Dickov gets it. They've gone on a counter this time. They pass it back to Barry. I think that's Jordan Barry, that is. To Dickov to Lewis. Lewis, can he get a shot off? Passes it instead, Morrow Welsh. It's a great pass. You wonder though if Morton can get there. He's a bit slow to react there, and he's caught in two minds whether to go to the player or track the run, and eventually leads to them getting the shot off and they score. It was probably Mansfield's only chance of that game, to be honest. They didn't work too much. There's definitely their shot on target, as you said. Finn had that one in the first half, that whistle wide. But Potter gets it there as we kick off, pass it to Lane out wide. Lane can cut it back, gives it to Lennon. Lennon turns, shoots. Keeper could have done better. I think he's expecting to go a little further wide, but he swings it into the middle of the goal. Restores the 2-goal lead, and there's 30 minutes left to play. Really, we ran out with it. They haven't offered much at all, really, as they go forwards at the moment. Pass it to McLaughlin. He gets tackled by Elias. 5 minutes later, he's going down that left-hand side again, pass it to Dickov. Cargill gets it. We're looking to close him down. Can't really get near the ball with any of our defenders, really. Elias there, again, caught in two minds with which player to track. They play a nice over the ball. Over top ball to Evans. Evans drops it out of play. And that kind of sums up Mansfield's day for the most part, as Lennon gets it in the 81st, looking for options. Potter, who's come inside, I was inverting really, even though that's not his role. Pass to Matete to Holloway, back to Matete. looking for options again. Nothing really forwards, but Lennon gets there, turns, shoots, looking for a hat-trick, doesn't get there. Pretty sure he's looking for a hat-trick. He might have actually got one already. Can't remember who scored the first, whether it was Lennon or Laszlo. But anyway, Holloway gets it again, looking for Lennon. Lennon gets to it, shoots a cross goal, and that surely is his third. 4-1 on the day, 87th minute. We don't see the comeback happen in the last 2 to 3, so we're happy to play this out. Mansfield trying to get maybe one more attack and see if they can score, because goal difference means a lot, especially with how tight League 1 and League 2 can be. So they're going to throw bodies forwards. There's 2 minutes left to go. Barry gets it out on the right. He's been everywhere today, to be fair to him. But they can't get the cross on target, and it goes out for a goal kick. It's upsetting really that Finn couldn't get a clean sheet. Some will blame it on Morton. Others will say that it was just, bound to happen with the way that we play. But either way, we come out as 4-1 victors. It's not a bad game for him. He's largely been a bystander. And he got all 4 goals. That's why it's confusing. On 8 attempts, really. So that's great. Wilkins came back from having a dodgy stomach, food poisoning, and got injured right away. So you see that. We're in January, so I believe we're in January at least. So you'll see a few people coming out. Latham went out on loan, and who can we replace him with, really? Options that we had were Edwards, Epitowen, and Nelson. And I think Nelson looked the best just because he could play inside as well. Give us an option at centre mid. And Lane, who we said for many months, gives the ball away way too often. So we hope someone with Nelson's experience playing at Luton and the ability to go inside means that he can retain the ball a bit better than Lane. So we're quite happy to give him up. And again, we have youth academy players that can come in and fill the role that Latham left really in leaving. David Watkins is another big person that's come out, 550k, can't really turn that down. We joined much later in the season now, 36 games played, and it's the Bristol derby again. Lennon Runaway with him, top scorer. But there wasn't much to show because we kept on winning, and I didn't want to disrupt the flow, even though it means that people like Stevens didn't play too much. Matete swapped with Davey just because of ratings. And again, the young keeper, apart from when Wilkins was out, he managed to reclaim his spot. So we're going to this in good form. Didn't expect Bristol to be as high up as they were, but it means that it should be an entertaining game really, because the last couple we've whooped their behinds for a lot of it. But I think the gap is definitely tightening up. Might have showed you, but we did lose to 1-0 in the cup. So if we win again today, that'll be revenge really, and show them that we really do mean things. We haven't gone on a cup run since we started. It's been 2 years. Haven't gone on a single cup run, just because focus on the league for the most part. As Holloway gets it, looking to get a shot off, can't get one off. Might be close though. Again, Nelson first touches as a Bristol player, gives it to Holloway. Holloway looking for Lennon. Lennon, can he do something? Gets some space from the defender, but can't fashion anything at all. As we get transfer news from the Women's League, Southwood. Didn't mean to call them by the wrong direction. Gets the ball out for them. They look to go long every single time, but Lane brings it down. Lane, oh, he's gone. Nelson brings it down. Gives the ball away, but you can see the retention is still there as Hal Dawson gets absolutely lost there. Morton has to step in, leaves Saturio, who we know is dangerous, with the ball, and they punish us. So we're 1-0 down. That's not a great start to the game. 30 minutes in, Saturio gets it again, passes it to Conte to Morton. Hal Dawson has been stepping up and been that sort of Canate role as the presser. He hasn't done it well this game, if I'm being honest with you. As Mateta looked for Stevens, couldn't get there, just wasn't on the same page. Saturio gets it, holds the ball, passes it to Morton. Morton looks to go inside. And now we have a corner just before half time. We hopefully score. We don't, obviously it's a corner. But yeah, we don't ideally want to go in 1-0 down, but it looks like that's the way, as Ford has it in the 45th minute. Only one added time, or 1 minute of added time, sorry. Sparks, Belongo looking to get a corner in. We can't concede again as Morton clears it away to Elias, and Elias gets rid to finally bring in half time. So we start the second half going out to the right with Elias looking for options. Only has Godwin in front of him really. So we look to go to the left. Holloway has it, looking for Potter to Nelson, back to Potter sees Holloway to Lennon, can't get it through, just plays it slightly to the right of him. And I think we're missing the two up top. If you look at the moment, I think we're in a 4-2-3-1. As Potter looks to intercept, doesn't get there, but Mateta does, loses the ball out now. Hutchison with it, goes past players way too easily. Watkins makes a great save. So they've got a corner now. What can they do from it? Watkins comes out, doesn't go for a punch or anything, so they just get a free header at the front post with no one in goal. So now we're 2-0 down and really up Crap Creek without a paddle really, as Mateta gives it to Lennon. Lennon finally gets through, our first chance of the game, and we score. So we're dangerous when we get the ball, we just haven't been getting the ball into the right areas, as Morton gives it to Lennon after intercepting that. Lennon trying to look for something, but again we've been poor all day. Now Morton's in no man's land. Mateta's looking to drop back and cover. Holloway was there luckily, and we're not closing down well enough. We're not getting the ball up to our key players quick enough, as Nelson gets it now on the counter attack, and look how many bodies aren't committed forwards. So yeah, we really haven't settled on anything, but Lennon gets it out wide, and we managed to get a corner from that. Let's see what we can do. Morton actually gets his head turned into it, and we almost score from it. So Morton's 6'5", we should be more of an aerial threat there. We know the front post is there, we just haven't been able to do anything. But the 76th minute, they're attacking again. Cut out. Mateta managed to get to the first ball, but always managed to give it away straight afterwards. Elias clears, Davey out wide, pass it to Godwin. We look to attack again, no numbers. Lennon on his own really. Pass it to Davey. Davey sees Godwin, he's loose. He's Belongo, gets past him, cuts inside, can he get a shot off? Curler. 2-2, there we go, back in the game. And it's one of those ones where we don't mind Godwin taking that shot because there was no options. So it's good from the young man. I think he's up to 70 now as well, so he's coming for Holloway's spot as top dog really, just behind Lennon as well. But you know, for someone who didn't think of much, had to come into the team a bit later on into the first season, he's made that position his own. He's sent Burrows out on loan, and just kind of had that spot to himself ever since coming into the team. As Davey gets it after their shot, goes straight to Walker's hands, pass it to Pascual. Sees Stewart. Stewart is actually the left-hand side replacement. We play backup, but he might be a starter if he pulls that stuff like that in the 90th minute in the biggest game of the season probably. We lose this, we end up second place to Bristol. I should say Rovers really, because we're Bristol as well. We're United, they're Rovers. That's the distinction. Where you see he gets it, absolutely blitzes in for pace, and goes straight across goal. It's a great finish for someone who's, I think this is actually his first game, let alone first start, and what a bigger stage to announce yourself on. Then in the title race against your biggest rivals really. It's usually Malcolm that came with those goals, but you know, you gotta shut the limelight sometime. Adds it to 92nd minute, and we're trying to hold on to the lead. There's Morton intercept, pass it to Pascual, and the referee calls time. And as you can see now, there's a massive gap that's open between us and off the back of that game. As we go, we showed you 94 points. This is the team that we play against Shrewsbury 2 games after us. This is the last home game of the season. This is to get 100 points in the league. So we've rested some of the big guns for this game. As you can see, Pascal started up front. I think Malcolm was there with him. Morton playing. Pass it to McDougall, who's one of the youth players that we've called up from, I think, Scotland it is. Elias gets the ball to Matete. Holloway was also dropped for this game, with Davey starting. you'll see cameos from the bigger players before the trophy lift. I think it was only right to bring them on so they can lift the trophy. Morton, as club captain, really should hold the trophy as well. I know Holloway's the future and has been captain for large parts of the season, but Morton established the path in the first season, so I think it's only fair. Nothing really happened in the first half. You saw the only chance there from Malcolm. We struggled to generate just because we rested so many players, and this team isn't used to playing with each other. As Malcolm gives it to Pascal to start the second half, sees Godwin out wide. Godwin, can he do something? Is he going to pass this time or shoot? Tries for the shot, gets blocked straight away. Now to Godwin, intercepted from their goal kick. Pascal gets it. Looking for options, sees Davy. Davy sees wide, but doesn't go there. Passes it back to Matete. Again, no options around him, so he sits on the ball. Davy, again looking for options, sees Malcolm. Malcolm shoots, hits the first man, gets it back, and now he's swarmed by players. Davy shoots, gives us a corner. Nothing comes from the corner. Shock, horror. Pascal gets it. Passes it through to Malcolm. Malcolm surely makes it 1-0 with this much space, and he does, with a Lennon type finish. Straight across the goalkeeper, and in the 64th minute we're bound for 100 points, so we're happy with that. We know that we can manage the game out from this point. There's not many times that we've lost from this position, and it has been pretty smooth sailing, as after Malcolm's goal we do make substitutions here. I see him coming off for Lennon. Matete's come off for Holloway, I believe, so we've got the young and starting centre mid. Davy picks up the ball again from what I assume is a goal kick. Godwin gives it to Holloway. Holloway sees options now, holds onto the ball for a little bit, sees someone going back, which is Elias. Elias passes it to Lennon. Lennon gets a little bit of space, gets some luck, and volleys it into the top right corner. Some say you make your own luck. It's a proven there with Lennon. Misses the first opportunity, bounces off, he controls it very well, weaves his way through players and shoots and scores. And he's run away with the top goal scorer this year, so one of the best players in the league and one of the best players for the club really. He's been a great servant. As Elias gets beat to the ball, I'm not really worrying at 2-0 up as the shortest player on the pitch. He manages to win a header, which I'm not too happy about. But Wilkins gives it to Molina, who started and made one of those spots his own. Morton gives it away. Molina intercepts it, gives it to Stewart. Stewart's again starting the game. He's come and made some cameo appearances after the Bristol game. Not too many, because we're trying to not burn out our young players, but he drives for the heart of the team, sees Lennon, gives it to him, and he's turned the game around since he's come on. But Stewart, with the confidence to drive through the entire team really into green space, and is wise enough to pick the right option there. He had two people in front of him. Thinks Lennon's the best option, gives it to him, and Lennon proves why he was. But yeah, we finished the game off at 3-0. Great challenge there to not concede. Wilkins ends it with a clean sheet, and you can see the emotions there from the team. They have been wanting this since literally day dot. It was a disappointing first season, missing out on the playoffs, but you know, the second season turned it around. It didn't even look like anyone was close to catching them past probably November. Clear out favourites as everyone goes past the trophy there. Morton, last person up, and he doesn't look like a monk for once because he's not playing, but right next to Holloway there to lift the trophy up. 3, 2, 1. Just great teams really. They deserve nothing but this. Every single one of them put in hard work, and it's a shame that some people weren't there to see it, like Lane, who were good enough, probably not good enough to be in League One or probably win a championship with, but important players along the way. As we said in the last game of the season, given Seymour probably his last game for the club, because much like Skinner, he's dropped down into the 50s now. Didn't see much game time this year, but yeah, we ended off at 100 points, top goal scorer, top assister, Wilkins was kind of down there for the clean sheets, and that's why we look at him a bit funny. Mateta, who I didn't think was that great, ended up being one of the best rated players that season. Holloway, 17 assists, 3 goals in 50 appearances, which is great. We got good players that have gone out on loan, gained some massive experience. You see Finn went out, and he's been at Birmingham for the half season. Latham, Sheffield United. So these are divisions up. They were looking at the players probably on a learn to buy basis, but no one did come through in the end. But as you see, big news is Morton leaves at the end of the season, so we won't have our club captain for next year. But it'll be fun to go into the January period and see what we can do. But we'll have to catch you in the next one. Please like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Peace.